Welcome to day 31. Today is another workout day, so I hope you're as excited as I am to get in the gym and crush it. As this trainer continues, it gets more and more challenging to continue to progressively overload as the weights and reps continue to go up. But that just makes it that much more exciting to me because every working set is a battle. And when you come out victorious and beat your previous best, it just makes it that much sweeter. So as usual on these workout days, we're going to take an exercise and dissect it and break it down for you so that you can get the absolute most out of that exercise. So today's exercise, we're going to be focusing on the abdominal crunch and how to best use that movement to train and build your abs. Now, those of you who are doing these workouts along with me, you know that between the two abdominal exercises we do, the focus with the crunches is usually on an abdominal crunch machine. And this is because it allows you to add resistance and progressively overload as you go along. If you don't have access to an abdominal crunch machine, you can use a stability ball or a back support and just hold a weight and progressively overload either with the weight or with the repetitions. Now, as far as the actual execution of the crunch goes, that's going to be the exact same whether you use a machine, a cable rope crunch, lying on the ground, or using a stability ball. So I'm going to show you a couple key things to focus on to make sure you're actually training your abdominals. Ooh, getting the bicep split there, turning the camera on. Anyway, there's two main things that you want to focus on when you're doing an abdominal crunch movement. And I'm going to demonstrate this in an actual crunch in a second, but I want to show you in a way that's easier for you to see and understand. The first is I want you to focus on 2 points on your torso, and that is right at the bottom of your rib cage underneath your chest, and then one's going to be right above your hip bones down at the front. So you've got these 2 points here on your torso. The function of the abdominals and the way you're going to train these effectively is at the bottom of the movement, the stretched position, you're going to focus on lengthening these 2 parts as far from each other as you can. And then as you crunch into the movement, you're going to focus on contracting these points as close together as you can. So a lot of people, when they train their abdominals, they move with their hip flexors and they're crunching up into a sit-up and coming back down. But these 2 points actually don't change. You can see I can do the motion of a sit-up without changing the distance between these 2 points. Now conversely, I can stay steady without doing the movement of a sit-up, but I can make these points very close together and very far apart. So whether you're on the stability ball, on the ground, as I'm going to demonstrate in just a bit, or on a crunch machine, that should be your focus. Lengthening and shortening those 2 points on your torso. Now the second thing that you want to focus on is your breathing. As you crunch down and engage your abdominals, bringing those 2 points closer together, you're going to exhale and flex down on your abdominals. I like to tell people, think of it as somebody's trying to poke you or punch you in the stomach, and you're trying to repel that poke and make your stomach as hard as you can to stop the poke. So you're gonna exhale, bring those 2 points together and contract on your abdominals to stop that poke from penetrating your abdominal wall. Then as you come back, you're going to inhale back into that lengthened position. And then you just repeat from there. Make sure you are using a nice controlled tempo as I'm going to demonstrate here right now. Okay, so we're down on the mat here, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean when I was talking about those 2 points during an actual abdominal crunch motion. So you can do a traditional sit-up that a lot of people do, and those 2 points on your abdominals here, you can actually come into a full sit-up without changing those 2 points. You can also not sit up at all, but just do a crunching motion where you lengthen and shorten those 2 points. Now, obviously, it can be helpful at the start if you're doing the motion just with body weight to actually put your hands or poke on your abdominals in those 2 positions and feel the stretch and increase in distance and the contraction in the shortening of distance. As you move on to the actual exercise or add weight where you can't actually feel your abdominals with your hands anymore, that's when you're going to want to use that visualization of bringing the bottom of your ribs to the top of your hips. Bring them apart and bring them together. So those are the 2 most important keys to effective abdominal training. Focus on the lengthening and shortening of the torso and the exhale and contraction of the abdominals at the bottom and the inhale and the stretch portion at the top. Practice and perfect those 2 things and your abdominal training will be much more effective and beneficial. As always, if there's any other questions regarding abdominal training, you can leave them in the comments section below. In the meantime, have a fantastic workout today, and I will see you, as always, for tomorrow's video.